some of the post-flood schools rehabilitation there. We have a whole host of other interventions. I've sort of tried to narrow them down. Teacher recruitment used to be a serious issue. We partnered with private institutions, international institutions, to ensure that we have transparent, merit-based appointments within our teachers recruitment initiative, and we managed to recruit more than 100,000 teachers through this merit-based process. We have public-private partnerships that have outsourced we've partnered with NGOs, with the private sectors to run educational institutions, public schools in Sindh. This has drastically increased the service delivery. I'd particularly like to mention Mr. Shehzad Roy, that's sitting in the corner over there, and his Citizen Foundation for the partnerships that we've done. We've improved our student-to-teacher ratio in Sindh. We had a student-to-teacher ratio of 50 students to 1 teacher when the Pakistan People's Party government took over. We've now managed to bring that down to 35 students to 1 teacher. We still have a long way to go. We've built 129 new colleges. We have scholarships programs, international scholarships program, the most recent of which is the Oxford Bhutto scholarship, and also with the Sindh education, we have scholarship programs that seem to have been eaten up my data, or I just can't see it. But trust me. We have not only international scholarship programs, but also local scholarship programs. There we are, 4,000 scholarships annually just through the Sindh Education Foundation alone. What we're particularly proud of is not only our tertiary care, our university, our primary school education, but particularly our special education facilities for differently able Pakistanis. Sindh was the first province to pass legislation for the Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities. We were the first province to set up an autism center, 100% free of cost, I think it was 2018, in Karachi. And we've managed to take that number now across the province to 10 autism centers where we provide 100% free of cost special education facilities for the differently abled in Sindh, and we've introduced a 5% employment quota. As you're all well aware, Pakistan faces demographic challenges. One of the most urbanizing provinces is the province of Sindh, with the highest rate of increase in population. Of the challenges that we face, and this is in the province of Sindh. The city of Karachi is Pakistan's only megacity that has a serious issue with population, partly as a result of population welfare, but largely as a result of migration. But we're also proud of the fact that Sindh is the first government and the first province that legislated on family planning. We've been working at this consistently, and Sindh is leading provinces in achieving our family planning 2030 goals. Sindh's contraceptive prevalence rate has gone from 31% to 41.8%, and that is a direct result of our family planning interventions. Along with family planning, I'd mentioned the sort of crux of our philosophy being about affordability. So we provide free of cost healthcare, because one of the most expensive challenges that any family can face can be the cost of healthcare. It can rip families out of the middle classes and into poverty, and also there are those who are completely out of reach. Similarly, we've tried to expand our network of public education facilities to ensure that our citizens get free of cost education, whether it's their universities, whether it's their primary school. Talked about population welfare. Along with that, the Pakistan People's Party is very proud that we'd introduced at the national level, at the federal level, the Benazir Income Support Program, which is the first and only social safety net that exists in Pakistan, and it's got meets all international standards. Simultaneously, at the provincial level, we've had various different interventions, and I'm just going to talk about one today, for poverty alleviation. And that's our Sindh. Do you want to do it? Yeah. Sindh Rural Support Organization, through which we've provided interest-free loans and other supports, particularly to the women of Sindh. And as a result of this program, we've managed to lift so far 1.4 million women out of poverty. And the thing that I'm sort of proudest about this program is usually when we want to start an initiative, we go to either our international partners or local partners and we make a pitch that this is what we want to do, come partner for us, come give us financing. In the case of this SRSO, which became the People's Poverty Reduction Program, this was the one initiative where we'd started on our own in the province of Sindh, and it went so well that the European Union approached us that they would like to join us in financing this initiative, which allowed us to then expand it through international partners and our own local support. So as I mentioned, we provide interest-free loans. We've got interest-free loans for women to start their own businesses at different scales. So there's an average scale for if they want to start, to provide them support in the form of the loans in these loans to start those businesses. Then there's sort of higher end, we provide a little bit more support through an enterprise development fund for more upscale businesses that they want to start. And it is primarily through that we managed to lift these women out of poverty, but we've also included support for vocational training and low-cost housing and a whole host of other interventions. But just the point that I want to highlight as a result of this, even sort of the commercial people and business people present here today will know that the recovery rate of our loans from our commercial banks for some of our top strata within Pakistan society is nowhere near the recovery rate that I mentioned over here. For our 5.8 billion that became 9.8 billion rupees of investment in interest-free loans for these women, our recovery rate is 98%. So what that means is not only does it speak to this program's success, it also speaks to these women's success. And we're really very proud of that. I mentioned the flooding, the consequences that that had in 2022 for our education infrastructure. To put it into perspective, the scale of this flooding and how devastating it was, particularly for the province of Sindh, is that 70% of Sindh was submerged in water. 24 of our 30 districts were declared calamity hit, and 2.1 million houses were destroyed. And you can imagine the devastation that this caused to those communities that we witnessed firsthand. I happened to be the Foreign Minister of Pakistan at the time, and I'm very grateful to the Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif and the federal government who all rallied together. I'm very grateful to our friends in the diplomatic corps for their support and for the Sindh government's efforts that allowed us to launch the world's largest housing initiative. Before us, I'm going to say the wrong name, so I'm not going to say the country, but now we currently are the world's largest housing initiative to rebuild these 2.1 million homes. The project beneficiaries are more than the population of 154 countries. Not only are we rebuilding their homes, we're rebuilding climate resilient homes. So the next time it rains and the next time it floods, these communities are not devastated. And it's an investment in the future, because every time such a devastation of this, we face such devastation at this scale, it drains provincial resources, federal resources. So we're building 2.1 million climate resilient homes. At the moment, we have 1.5 million homes that are under construction still. 750,000 homes have been completed. And the beauty of this initiative is that it's not just climate resilient housing initiative, it's also a women's empowerment initiative. Because while building homes for these women who could never, or these families who would never envision having a solid house over their head, we also, because 90% of these people were living on government land in makeshift houses. So we also have transferred the land titles for these homes in the names of the women of the households. And that is the largest asset transfer initiative in a generation. As a result of this, when we hand over these houses to these women, they now have an asset. They have security. These families know that they can't be removed from their homes. The value of these properties, as soon as we hand over the land titles, drastically increase. And for generation after generation, these properties will continue to increase and be passed on to future generations. But it also provides them with an asset that, if they would like, they can use to take out a loan, to do. So it's overall, it's not only sort of housing reconstruction, it's poverty alleviations, it's women's empowerment. We opened bank accounts for all these women. 2 million bank accounts have been opened for women who would never have seen a bank. As a result of this initiative, we've also managed to create more than 1 million jobs in the province of Sindh, just through the People's Housing Initiative. And our partners, some of them are in the room today, like the World Bank, international financial institutions, the federal government, the Sindh government, have all come together, and we managed to secure funding of $2 billion in less than 2 years for this initiative. Ooh. This is Hina from Thatta, where she used to live with her family and her brand new house. Dildal Ari from Tangobago and his family, their kacha house, their pakka house. Lalo Mal from Nara, his kacha house, him and his 2 daughters in his new house. Muhammad Khan from Jacobabad, him and his family, how they used to live, they live today.
घर का खर्चा, बच्चों का, अपना सारा कुछ सही चलता था। बारिश के बाद तो वो बिल्कुल खत्म हो गया। हमें इधर ही रहते थे, हमारे कच्चे घर होते थे, बारिश में वो सारे गिर गए। जब बारिश आया था तो हर तरफ तबाही तबाही थी। फिर जो बीमार हुआ, फाके में बैठे, बेशियाँ मर गई, लोग जख्मी हो गए। ये तो बड़ा अच्छा हुआ कि सिंध गवर्नमेंट ने हमारा सपोर्ट लिया है। ये व्यापार के और ये खेती बाड़ी के अलावा क्योंकि हमारा कोई रोजगार तो है नहीं। अब हमें ये था कि अभी बच्चों का करें, घर का करें या किसी कारोबार का करें, लेकिन बड़ी मुश्किल हालात में वक्त गुजरी है। गवर्नमेंट ऑफ सिंध की तरफ से जो टीम आई थी, वो आगे घर घर पे सर्वे कर रहे थे। पहले घर हमारे कच्चे थे, अभी ये माशाल्लाह पक्का घर बन गया, तो हमारा भी शौक है कि घर को संवार दें। ये पसंद है हमें, जब वो बोलते कि दरख्त लगाएं तो ये जो बड़े होते हैं तो इसके गर्भवती भी करते हैं और मवेशी वगैरह भी। और गाँव वालों को भी कहता हूँ कि हर घर के सामने ये होनी चाहिए, तो हम लगा देते हैं इसलिए। घर माशाल्लाह भी हमारा बड़ा फर्स्ट क्लास बन गया। ये है कि हमारे बच्चों का मुस्तकबिल बन जाए, यही उम्मीद है इंशाअल्लाह।
Education system, housing infrastructure, regular infrastructure obviously devastated. Again, on the topic of agriculture, I want to look at it specifically in light of the 2022 floods. The major source of income for the people of our province was drastically affected. As an emergency measure at the time, the Sindh government decided to support our farmers by providing them wheat seeds. On an emergency basis, we reached out to 215,000 people in our province at the time, provided them this support, and as a result of this intervention, the following year we had the highest ever wheat production of 4.5 million tons in the province of Sindh.